Hello everybody and welcome to this new channel. My name is Grack789 and you're watching Grack789 Gaming. I have previously had a bit of a trip onto YouTube with a group called Hotspot Gaming, but that was meant to be myself and a group of buddies playing games, having a bit of fun, but unfortunately no one else had time for recording or anything like that, so alas, here I am on my own. This first video is going to be kind of an introduction to the channel as well as a bit of gameplay from one of the games I'm going to try and do a bit of a long running series on. It's a game I'm a big fan of, Mount&Blade Warband. Now, I'm using the Vexed Natives mod, so it's not the standard experience for Mount&Blade Warband. Vexed Natives basically changes a few different things, experience rates, money rates from arenas, size of parties and the amount of recruits you can get from villages, that kind of thing, just to kind of make it a bit more of a fun experience. So we're on the character select screen at the moment. This kind of thing I'll be doing, I'll be playing mostly games that I enjoy, but at the same time, obviously, I want to make sure that you guys are having a good time as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and mix it up with a few different things. I'm going to have a few let's plays of a few different games. I'm hopefully gonna do a Minecraft series. Maybe we'll get a few collaborations going with a few different YouTubers that I know of and have worked with previously. So it's gonna be a fairly basic start, Here we get to pick our kind of starting traits. This will decide both our starting weapons, type of armor we have, as well as our standing in the world. So obviously, previously we had selected male. Male and female can both achieve the same things in the game, but it's easier for males just because of the kind of time period this is set in medieval sort of times. Sometimes romance can actually be easier for females, which can get you, up in the world a bit faster than the men. So sometimes I actually think the females are a little bit easier, but that's just my opinion. Other people are different. So again, these things affect it. If you pick an impoverished noble, and you also pick squire later on, you'll start off already as a nobleman with a banner, which means you can instantly kind of create your own faction. You're also more easily accepted into the ranks of other factions, whereas if you pick any of these other ones, you won't get that choice, and you'll have to kind of work your way up as a mercenary. Then eventually you'll be able to become a vassal of your king, and eventually you'll get the king to trust you enough from doing missions and fighting his enemies to grant you lands and that kind of thing. I like a bit more of a challenge on my starts. I'm also a fan of horses, so I'll generally go for a stepping nomad, a step child, and then as the last one, I'll normally go with university student, which might seem strange, but there's a lot of useful things there in terms of medicine and keeping your troops alive and that kind of thing. I've played this game for years. I haven't figured out if this actually has any effect. I always just go for personal revenge because people suck. So here we have attributes. These all affect, well, they're your standard ones, strength, agility, intellect, charisma. So strength obviously affects things like iron flesh here, power strike, power throw, power draw, that kind of thing. So things that you need to be strong to do. So swinging your weapon harder, throwing heavier things as well, using heavier bows, and obviously increased health. Agility is your stuff like weapon master, which is these proficiencies over here, which basically affect your skills with these weapons. Shield, athletics, riding, horse archery, looting, and then you get into intelligence, which is training, tracking, tactics, pathfinding, spotting. There's a lot for intelligence. Inventory management, wound treatment, surgery, first aid, engineering. And now you're into your charisma. Apparently not. Would have thought persuasion would have been charisma, but there you go. prisoner management, leadership, and trade. Alright. So, strength will base increase your hit points by 1. Agility gives you 5 weapon points and increases your movement speed. Intelligence gives you an extra skill point. And charisma increases your party size limit by 1. And obviously, all of these things, you can't increase these things above a third of what this is. These are literally just limited by Weapon Master in the way you can see up in the top right there. All of these things affect different stuff, so I always throw at least 1 point into strength starting off. I'll always throw a point into intelligence for that extra skill point. But persuasion's handy, so I think I might actually throw a 2nd point in there, and then I'm also going to throw a point into agility. Now, I have 9 points to spend here, so I am a fan of using bows, but I'm going to be on horseback, so I'm going to go for a point in power strike. I'm going to throw a point into iron flesh, which is 2 hit points, 2 points. Actually, we get ourselves up to a fair even 50. Weapon Master, we're nearly on the limit for one-handed weapons there. So maybe I won't go with that. Leadership, we've already got 1 point in. Prisoner management, we don't really need. And put a couple of points into persuasion. And then party healing, speed, and surgery are both handy. I'm also going to go for pathfinding and spotting. Now, so I'll explain that there. Pathfinding increases your speed on the world map. You'll see later why that's important. Spotting lets you see things further away. Also quite handy. So wound treatment party healing speed is increased by 20% per level of this skill. So we can get back into combat faster. Surgery, less men are likely to be killed. So if we do happen to have a bad fight, we won't be as worse off as we could have been. Persuasion, people will basically listen to us more. Now what we already have points in here is riding, which obviously is horse riding, horse archery, which is okay, but I'm not a huge fan of it. We'll name our character there. So we also have increased damage with melee weapons, increased health. What else do we have here? We have leadership, which reduces the wages of your party, increases their morale, and increases the number of troops you can ride. You can have. So apparently Weapon Master is the one that limits us to 100. Okay, so I think we're good there with our character. Now, I'm generally fairly basic with my character creation in this game, so I'm just going to throw him an owl beard, throw him that kind of hair, change that owl hair colour to brown, and that's more or less me. Apart from the lack of glasses, but I'm pretty sure they didn't have glasses in these days. Now, the fact that he has a crossbow is a bit strange to me. But oh well. And this choice is kind of just your own kind of opinion. Each faction has its own specific kind of weapons that are like, so Rodox are crossbowmen, Swati is spearmen, Vagars are horsemen, but knights more than anything else. The Kurgid Khanate are kind of horse archers and faster horses. Nords focus on infantrymen, and the Saronids are kind of a bit of a mix, but they mainly focus on throwing weapons. I always go with the Kingdom of Vagars. I like the whole knights thing. So basic story: we've arrived in this village, and we're instantly accosted by this fella. Now the thing that's a bit strange, I picked Steppy Child, which would normally start you off with a regular bow, not a crossbow, but yeah, there we go. We killed him fairly handy. So merchant, I'm not going to read through the story. The story at the start is not an important feature of this game. Basically, this guy's brother's been kidnapped, and he's giving you a tutorial of how to go out, find men, that kind of crack. So here we have the world map. It is pretty expansive. One of the other things with this mod, it changes the colours, so they're easier to see on the field. So without this mod, the Vagars, who are these orange coloured guys, would have been white, and obviously most of their land is snow. Makes it quite hard to see the names of the villages and that kind of thing, you know. What else do we have? So the red area is Swadia, this is the Rodox, this is the Nords, this is the Kurgat Khanate, and these are the Serenid Sultanate. And then we have it. Now you have a few things along the bottom here. You've got camps, you can set up a camp, you can read books, you can wait for your men to heal, that kind of thing. Reports is basically a few different things. So character report, party size report, companion missions, weekly budget, morale, known realms by relation, known lords by relation, courtship, that kind of thing. You've got your renown, your honor, your morale, and your party size limit. Basic stuff, notes, basically your quests, as well as information on game concepts, characters, locations, factions, that kind of thing. Then you've got your inventory, obviously. So I've a book, because I'm a university student. Not great armor, because again, university student. We've got a rusty sword, crossbow, swayback saddle horse, which is a bit strange to me. And here's the party screen. So I'm already injured, probably from that fight in the town. But let's get going. So there you go, brief description of the overland map. So these large towns have stores. These little towns are where you can recruit your people. So we've got 6 boys from there, but I don't think 6 boys are going to be enough, so we're going to go for a few more. So we're going to head up to here. Now you'll see there's little parties. Actually, just going to hit the pause. No, they vanished. Alright. So we'll recruit another 13 guys from there. So you've got castles, you've got these little villages, and you've got the big towns. The big towns have markets and arenas, and it's where lords are. So yeah, most of the major lords. And castles have a lord in them. So here's what I was talking about. Little parties roaming around. Village farmers. Now they'll be randomly attacked by bandits, or I can actually attack them myself if I so choose. Obviously it'll put you at odds with the faction, and starting off that's not a good plan, to have a faction hating you from the beginning without the backing of another major faction. So this guy's in the tavern. So here's the tavern. You've got a wandering Ashik. He's basically a poet. He'll teach you poems for courtship. Watchmen are mercenaries you can hire. And then here's our merchant friend. Very well, I shall hunt for the bandits. And here they are. Band of robbers. So, combat. This is full on combat. Now obviously I'm on a horse and all my boys are on the ground. So basically you gain experience for fights, and you can improve your guys to be better at their current role, or eventually you can actually change their role. So I believe 2 steps after the basic recruit, you've got the ability to choose if you want your guys to go archery or kind of land-based, and then eventually you'll also get the ability to decide if you want your boys to go in the land-based tree, if you want them to go mounted or foot. Here you go, our boys are cheering, we've won the battle. Seem to have caught that guy just below the tit with a crossbow bolt, so that's good times. And now we've won, so we get to enjoy the spoils. I'm gonna go ahead and equip that because it's better than mine. And here you go. See down the bottom here, some soldiers are ready to upgrade. So we've got our boys. One of them is ready to upgrade, so I can upgrade him to a footman. And he changes a little bit, gets different weapons and that kind of thing. It becomes more powerful. now, so we know where the kidnapper's hideout are, so we can go find your man's brother. So let's do that. It's always important to actually do this tutorial because it kind of, gives you a good notion of how the game works and that kind of thing. So there you go. I have now advanced to level 2. We're going to get in here and help our boy out. There you go. There's that lad dead. So it's kind of directional combat. So right, left, up, down, and then you can block with your shield. The one thing I would have liked to have seen in this game that I'm hoping they introduce in number 2 is locational damage. So I want to say that if you cut some lad in the arm he's holding a shield with, he'll drop his shield because he can't hold it anymore. If you cut someone in the leg, he'll move slower or whatnot. It's not in this one. Would have been brilliant considering the directional combat system. But there you go. So we've won, and now we just need to find where the brother is, I suppose. There he is. Don't know where he's coming from. Alright, blah blah blah, merchant's brother. Yeah. Good times. We win. So now we've got more weapons to choose from. What does my sword do? 24. Must have reach on it, 95, so the reach is much better on that. Weapons always sell for more than armor, so take weapons above armor. But obviously, if there's some armor going, that's useful to you, or if you have the inventory space for it, don't shy away from it. So now we've got more boys ready. 3 boys, hold control. And that would have worked if I had any money, but I'm apparently flat broke. And we leveled up as well. So now you get 1 attribute point and 1 skill point. So I'm going to put my attribute point into, I'm going to put it back into strength because more health is always a useful thing. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this point into looting, so we get more loot and we get better loot. Here's the basics of that. Now we go back to Raven because we got this guy's brother. So here we have the Merchant of Raven. Yay! So we're gonna join this guy's men in fighting the bandits that have infiltrated the town. Now I know this guy's one of them, so I automatically line up my crossbow, and as soon as the conversation starts, he looses the bolt and whacks your man in the chest. So here we go. Getting into a tussle here. These boys using only fists wasn't their smartest plan to date. They should probably have, got some kitchen knives or something maybe. Oh, and the merchant's down. So now here we go. We're fighting this lad. Now you see the town guards who are kind of not corrupt do help you out, which makes this quite handy. And I think, yep, that's us done. So there we are. And that's it. That's the tutorial done. We can go and visit the tavern and we'll find out that the king has decided he doesn't like this guy anymore and he wants rid of him. So just gonna sell some stuff here. And we're up to a little bit of money. So I'm going to call it there for the first episode. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed it, obviously like, subscribe, comment, let me know if there's any particular games you want to see me play or anything in particular you want to see me do. I have no problem playing games that you guys want me to play, obviously provided I have it or can get it. So thanks very much for watching and have a good day.